The problem isn't that you lack focus, it's that your current environment and habits are working completely against your natural ability to even concentrate. Every ping, buzz, and visual distraction is pulling your attention in every different direction, making it nearly impossible to think deeply about anything meaningful. But there's a solution for you, and research shows these simple adjustments can cut task switching costs by up to 40%. Now, these five strategies, time blocking, environmental audit, single tasking, the Pomodoro technique, and identifying your peak hours, these five things alone can address the real causes of distraction at your very source. Once you understand how to align your environment with your goals, focus becomes much easier to even achieve and maintain consistently. But first, you might find it surprising to learn what really happens in your brain when you try to do multiple things at once. What is the hidden cost of mental juggling? When you check your email while writing a report, then answer a text message before returning to your work, you feel productive and efficient. Now, this constant movement between tasks creates the illusion for you that you're accomplishing more in less time. Your mind interprets this busy feeling as progress, and you might even feel proud of your ability to handle so many things simultaneously. The truth about your brain will change how you think about productivity forever. You see, your brain cannot actually multitask the way you imagine it does. Instead, it rapidly switches your attention from one task to another. And research shows this task switching can reduce your productivity by up to 40%. Every time you move your focus from writing an email to answering a phone call, your brain must shut down the neural networks involved in the first task and then activate completely different networks for the second task. Now, this constant switching creates something scientists call attention residue that clings to your thoughts long after you move to a new task. Studies show consistently that after switching tasks, there is a lapse of cognitive focus. Now, this lapse can last up to 23 minutes. When you finish checking social media and try to focus back on important work, part of your mind remains stuck thinking about what you just saw online because it's still processing it at the background. You don't even realize it. Your brain cannot instantly forget the previous task you gave it and then give full attention to the current one which you've given it now. Now, this residue accumulates throughout the day. Now, this makes each new task harder for your brain to focus than the last one. Research reveals that multitasking can reduce your effective intelligence with cognitive impacts similar to losing a full night of sleep. Your ability to think clearly, solve problems, and make good decisions becomes significantly impaired when you divide your attention between multiple things. You might spend 8 hours at your desk feeling busy and exhausted, yet accomplish very less meaningful work than you could have finished in 3 focused hours. Consider what single tasking feels like when you experience it fully. Your mind settles into a smooth, effortless flow where time seems to completely disappear, and your best work emerges naturally. Ideas connect in ways that surprise you. Problems that seem complicated become clear and manageable. You feel energized rather than drained because your brain is operating in its natural capacity without fighting against constant interruptions. Now, the shift from doing so many things poorly to doing one thing with your full attention transforms not just your productivity, but your relationship with work itself. When you give your full focus to a single task, you engage deeper parts of your brain and your mind that remain dormant during multitasking. Your creativity rapidly increases, your problem-solving abilities sharpen, and you produce work that reflects your true capabilities rather than a scattered version of your true potential. Single tasking unlocks your brain's natural ability to think deeply and create meaningful results. This mental clarity becomes the foundation for every other focus strategy you will learn. Once you understand this principle, you need the right structure to protect and nurture this focus state throughout your day. Now let's talk about building walls around your most important work. Time blocking. Time blocking creates invisible barriers that protect your focus from the chaos of daily demands, giving your mind the space it needs and it deserves to do what matters most in your work and personal life. Now, this approach transforms your calendar from a collection of random appointments into a strategic system for your priorities. Now, this creates sacred boundaries that honor both your most important goals and your natural energy patterns throughout each day. Most people let email and meetings dictate their day. Time blocking now puts your priorities in control. It's like think of you as if you're taking back your driver's seat. They fit their important work around interruptions, squeezing meaningful projects into whatever leftover time remains after meetings, phone calls, and urgent requests from other people. This reactive approach guarantees that your most valuable work receives only a tired, fragmented attention at the end of a busy day when your mental energy is nearly already depleted by much less important activities. We gotta flip this. The psychology behind our scheduling choices reveals why we feel guilty saying no to urgent requests, even when these interruptions derail us from work that truly move our lives forward. We worry about disappointing others or appearing unhelpful, so we sacrifice our own priorities to accommodate whatever seems most pressing in the moment. This pattern teaches everyone around us that our time has no boundaries, encouraging even more interruptions that pull us further away from meaningful work. Time blocking works like an appointment with yourself that you should never cancel, treating your goals with the same respect you automatically show to other people. When you block 2 hours every Tuesday morning, let's say for writing, now that time becomes as protected as a doctor's appointment or important meeting. Research shows that people who schedule deep work see a 47% boost in creative output because they learn to defend their boundaries, understanding that their future success depends on consistently showing up for the work that truly matters the most for them. Consider the relief that comes from knowing exactly what you should be doing at any moment throughout your day. Time blocking eliminates the mental energy wasted on constant decision making about priorities because you already made these choices during your planning time. Your mind can now focus completely on execution rather than spending precious mental resources wondering what deserves your attention next or feeling guilty about what tasks you're not doing at the moment. Now, this system creates natural buffers for unexpected situations while still ensuring your most important work always has a protected home within your schedule. You can build 15-minute cushions between blocks to handle small interruptions without destroying your entire plan. When emergencies do arise, you can still reschedule blocks rather than abandoning them completely. Maintaining a commitment to important work, even during chaotic periods, is important. Time blocking transforms you from someone who reacts to whatever comes up into someone who proactively shapes their day around what matters the most for their long-term success and fulfillment. Here, you need to see yourself as the craftsman. You are in charge of your day ahead of you. You become the author of your own schedule rather than a victim of other people's urgency and their poor planning habits. But even the best time blocks can crumble when something more subtle is working against your focus. When your space becomes your enemy, everything falls apart. Your physical and digital spaces are constantly whispering suggestions about what to do next. And most of these whispers are pulling you away from your goals rather than supporting the work that matters. The stack of papers on your desk remind you about the tasks you need to complete. The phone sitting within arm's reach tempts you to check messages. The cluttered bookshelf creates visual noise that fragments your attention even when you try to ignore it. Willpower fails not because you're weak or lack discipline, but because you're fighting an environment specifically designed to distract you from meaningful work. Every visible object, notification, and even the arrangement of your desk sends signals to your brain consistently about what deserves attention right now. They are all reaching out to you and asking for your attention, whether you like it or not. Your mind processes these environmental cues automatically, creating a constant competition for your focus that exhausts your mental energy before you even begin working. Research shows that removing a smartphone from reach can cut interruptions in half because your brain no longer receives constant signals about potential messages and updates which you should be checking. Each notification interrupts your attention and fragments your focus, making it difficult to concentrate on a single task for any extended period. This constant stream of digital interruptions leads to increased mental fatigue and reduced productivity because your brain must repeatedly switch now between different types of thinking. Changing your environment is often easier and much more effective than trying to change your habits through willpower alone. Here is a suggestion: put your phone in another room or turn off notifications to remove 80% of your digital interruptions. You can remove tempting objects from your workplace and organize your space to support the activities you want to prioritize. These environmental modifications require only a very few minutes of effort, but they do create lasting changes that can support better focus for you throughout entire days and sometimes weeks on end. Take a moment right now to conduct a quick workspace audit. Just look around you. What do you see? Look around your desk and name 3 distracting items you can see around you. Choose one of these items and remove it from your workspace right now. Notice how this simple change already makes your space feel more conducive to focus work. Small environmental changes create compound effects that make focus work feel natural rather than a constant battle against temptation. So clearing your desk of everything except materials for your current project can eliminate visual distraction a whole lot. Moving your phone to another room removes the automatic urge to keep checking messages. Creating a dedicated workspace that you use only for important tasks trains your brain to now associate and link that location with focused thinking and productivity. Your optimized environment now becomes a silent partner in your productivity by working consistently in your favor rather than against your intentions. You now no longer waste mental energy resisting distractions because you remove them from your immediate surroundings. So, an optimized environment makes focus feel effortless because you have removed the friction that was exhausting you. But even the very perfect environment cannot overcome poor timing when your energy levels are working against you. Working with your energy, not against it. How do you do that? Your brain operates on predictable ultradian cycles with approximately 90-minute periods of peak focus followed by 20-minute natural rest periods throughout the day. That's the pattern my brain is determined and self-formulated to run. Understanding these rhythms reveals why forcing yourself to work harder often backfires, while discovering when your mind naturally wants to do its best thinking and scheduling your most important work during these golden hours can create extraordinary results for you. When you align your tasks with your natural energy patterns, you stop fighting against your biology and you start working with powerful cycles that already exist within your body and mind. The common belief that you should be equally productive at all hours creates unnecessary struggle and frustration in your work life, mainly because it's just not possible. Your human body is not built for that. This expectation fights against your biological design because your energy levels, creativity, and ability to focus change dramatically from morning to evening based on your hormonal fluctuations, your body temperature changes, and natural circadian rhythms that have evolved over thousands of years. Most people waste their best mental energy on trivial tasks without realizing the opportunity cost of this huge misalignment. Now, you might spend your peak morning hours checking email or attending routine meetings. Then you go and try to tackle complex creative projects when your brain is already exhausted and unfocused later in the day. Now, this backward approach guarantees that your most challenging work receives only your leftover mental capacity instead of the sharp thinking it deserves. The Pomodoro technique offers a very practical way for you to work with these natural rhythms by using focus bursts followed by restorative breaks that recharge rather than drain your mental resources. Research shows that 25-minute focus intervals sustain attention while minimizing mental fatigue, according to the cognitive load theory. This method involves choosing a task, setting a timer for 25 minutes. You can just do that with your phone, your smartphone. That should be as simple as that. And work in with complete focus until your timer rings. After each focus interval, take a 5-minute break to rest your mind. After completing 4 of these cycles, you take a longer break lasting 15 to 30 minutes to fully restore your energy. Consider the satisfaction that comes from aligning your most challenging work with your peak hours, when complex problems feel now manageable and your creativity finally flows freely through your thinking. During these optimal periods, you can solve problems that seemed impossible during your low energy times. Your mind makes connections between ideas that surprise you. Writing flows smoothly. You produce work that reflects your true capabilities after a long, long time rather than a tired, weak, duplicate version of your potential. This approach creates a sustainable cycle where work finally energizes rather than exhausts you, because you see you're now cooperating with your natural patterns instead of fighting against them. You learn to recognize when your energy peaks and valleys occur throughout the day. You schedule demanding cognitive tasks during your strongest periods and save routine activities for times when your focus naturally decreases. Now, these 5 strategies work together to create a complete transformation in how you approach your daily life and work. Single tasking becomes easier during peak energy periods. Time blocking works better when you schedule important work during your strongest hours. Your environmental optimization supports the focus work periods you created during your best thinking times. This integrated approach now can move you from feeling overwhelmed to feeling genuinely in control of your attention and your work choices. So, in conclusion, the transformation begins the moment you implement these evidence based techniques into your daily routine. The path from distracted to focused is not about perfection at all. We don't want that. Nobody needs that. It is about progress. Small progress, maybe, but still progress. And every small step you take claims a piece of your attention and your life back from the chaos that surrounds you daily. Remember that these 5 strategies help lower your task switching cost by up to 40%, giving you measurable improvements in your ability to think clearly and still accomplish meaningful work every single day. As productivity expert Chris Bailey notes, the key to real productivity lies in doing one thing well, with intention and minimal interruption. You deserve to experience the satisfaction of deep work and the calm that comes from knowing you are spending your time on what truly matters to you. So pick one of these strategies today, commit to it, and use it for just one day today. Because the journey to focused living begins with a single intentional choice to honor your full potential. And I wish you the very best in your journey